Welcome to Rein It In. This is Matt.
And I'm Rachel. This is a conversational podcast between two married nerds where we talk about travel and food and sometimes games. And we are still in Japan, if you've listened to the last couple of episodes. So
we're rounding in. We have 5 days left, maybe? 4 days?
5 nights left.
5 nights left.
Yeah, so it's winding down. It's been an intense trip. It's been a long day. So we'll
28
see.
days though.
Yeah.
Was originally, so we're on the home stretch. Yeah. More than 3/4 way through.
I know. I mean, home stretch makes it sound like we can't wait to be done, which is not true. But also, I'm looking forward to my bed.
Just like baseball, right? It's like home stretch is like home is at the end.
Right. Home is at the
end.
Home
plate.
Anyway, today we're not going to talk to you about our home, but instead our time in Shikoku, which is an island just to the east of Naoshima, which is what we talked about last time.
And south as well.
Southeast.
Yeah, so southeast of Tokyo, south of Osaka. It's the 4th largest of Japan's islands. Yep. The 4 main islands.
Yeah. So we're going to tell you all about it.
So last time we left off, we had talked about Naoshima, the art islands, and complained plenty about all the tourists.
Right.
And we basically went to the opposite side of that spectrum.
Yeah. Shikoku did not have many Western tourists at all. And in fact, I think Matsuyama just didn't have many tourists, period.
There definitely were at Matsuyama Castle and such. There were a couple, but you're right. I don't think it's as
many.
Yes, it's not on the normal tourist trail.
Right.
Yeah. And then we should also add we're talking to you currently from Hiroshima, Japan. Yeah. So we're back on Honshu, the big island, and it's been such a difference.
Like the amount of like Western tourists is vastly different in Hiroshima as opposed to, and I'm not saying like, all Western tourists are bad or anything.
No, not at all. We were saying some of the tourists in Hiroshima were bad.
Oh, right, yeah, but that's by no means all.
No. Yeah.
There are plenty of lovely tourists that we've come across.
It's just a bit of culture shock, right? Because it's not.
It was so different in Shikoku, and then just like coming here, it was like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah, that we were walking around on Miyajima, famous for the giant red torii gate
in the ocean.
It's in the sea, I suppose.
In the sea when the tide is high.
When the tide is high. No, that's a Blondie song that I got poorly done there. We'll talk about karaoke in a little bit here, but just different, right? Like when we were in Miyajima, we heard very little Japanese, actually. I heard like Hindi or some other Indian languages a few different times.
Yeah, there's plenty of German. Yeah, and lots of English. Southeast Asian.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it was Cambodian or Vietnamese or whatever, but yeah, definitely very, very like you've seen pictures of this. I was just talking about this earlier at dinner with Matt about how, it's like this is like a screensaver picture, right? Like this is a thing that you see on like pretty screensavers, and it really does look exactly like that. And of course, because it does look exactly like that, and it's beautiful, and like just this really kind of like stunning thing that exists, there's just a lot of tourists that want to go see it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we went there. Yeah, exactly.
And I think it was well worth spending the morning doing.
Yeah. But that's not what we're not here for today. Yeah, that's not Shikoku. That's back in Hiroshima. Or Hiroshima Prefecture, at least.
Yeah.
Shikoku.
Naoshima, we talked a little bit about like how Naoshima kind of like organized some of the direction of our travel this time, knowing that we wanted to go there and to see the James Turrell, and so that meant we had to be there on certain dates because the trail's only available Fridays and Saturdays. And it also, it just kind of like gave us a point to organize some of our travel around. Mm-hmm. We also knew that we wanted to do...
That we wanted to go to Shikoku.
Well, and that we wanted to do a fancy train, right? Mm-hmm. And so those things are sort of what led us to Oboke, which is where we spent 2 nights.
Yeah. The Valley, I think.
In the
Oboke
mountains.
Gorge.
Yeah.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Yeah, it was. It was really, really, really pretty, really peaceful, really wild, like just like city kind of hanging on in the middle of this gorge.
Oh, right? Not even a city. Yeah.
Right, town.
It was like 6 stores and a train station.
Yeah, town, definitely.
Well, no, there were more stores because up on the side we went to that cafe.
Yeah.
There was also a store. That was kind of
But
fun.
yeah, definitely not a city, a town.
Yeah.
Still with better public transit than almost any town in America.
Yeah, kind of. But also because they're totally different than Wuppertal, Germany, where I rode the awesome Schwebebahn, which I'll never be able to pronounce proper, but the suspended railway, or suspended monorail there. Rachel's going to open up a Chuhai here. It's a new kind. We haven't tried this one yet. Like everything is built on this valley, right? There's the Shikoku is not a real big island, and it's kind of basically a ring railway, goes around the outside, and then there's one that cuts through the middle, and then there's one that cuts kind of along the top, east-west, through this middle-ish. But spoilers, that also caused a little bit of chaos on their trip out of there. But the fancy train, I don't remember what the heck it's called. We're really bad at doing pre-research. We rode this train. We took pictures of it.
Yeah.
But it's sightseeing railway, special train. There's some really seriously fancy trains in Japan. This was a moderately fancy train.
I mean, it was
very, very nice.
It came with a meal. Like it was a really nice experience. Yeah, and it left from a small town called Tadotsu, where we had to get up early to leave Noshima.
Yeah, it's not a real good one.
In order to make the train. No, my drink isn't amazing. We had to get up really early to leave Noshima to make this train, which was fine. We made it.
We say real early. We're talking like it was like 5 something.
Yeah. So
because we had to get the early ferry so we could make it in time for a 10 o'clock train that was leading from a totally different town. So we had a ferry to a train to the fancy train. Yeah, and we had like a couple hours to kill, unfortunately, in Tadotsu, which not a lot. No, we would have really definitely. I would have spent more time in
Takayama. Takayama is where the train dropped us off.
Takayama,
or the ferry dropped us off. Yeah,
I think it was Takayama.
Maybe not.
No, it was similar to Tadotsu. It was like Tatsu something. But anyway, I remember them being very, very similar sounding. But either way, that town had a lot more going on and seemed pretty nice. Yeah. But all we did was jump on a train and buy a coffee from a 7-Eleven. Yep. But the train was pretty nice. I mean, it's going through this beautiful, beautiful gorge. It
goes slower than a regular train because it's a sightseeing train. So they call out different sites for you to look at.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and also every time you pass through a town, like a bunch of people from the town are like out, or you pass by someone working in a field. And they stop and doing whatever they're doing, and they wave to the train, and everybody on the train waves back to the people.
And I didn't realize why or how everyone knew that the train was coming until we were sitting in a cafe and the train came by us.
On our last episode.
The subsequent day, yeah, exactly. And it plays music, so everybody can tell when it's
That's
there
really
because
annoying.
It's playing music.
Yeah, but I mean, they're trying to drum up
it's really,
tourism to this
really
island
annoying,
that doesn't get a lot of tourism.
It happens not even every day because the train doesn't run every day, so it's not like you're constantly having this little tune going by your house.
But it was like a little classic, like Orient Express kind of car. Like we had these nice tables and chairs, and we got a nice multi-course meal. The first course we stopped at another train station and got warm
Pumpkin soup.
Pumpkin soup, yeah, it was delicious.
Yep. And then a little bottle of water. So everybody piled off the train, drank their soup, piled back on the train.
Yeah, it was funny.
And we were pretty effective at collecting stamps on Shikoku, which was fun too. So we haven't talked about the stamp collecting, I don't think, on this podcast.
You're going to have to look it up on your phone. What the hell the thing's called?
We didn't do it at all last time.
We did it a couple times, but we didn't do it officially. Like,
yeah.
There's this concept, you get these little books, these stamp books, and they're generally for kids. But I was actually reading something yesterday when I was just doing some searches, when we were at Dogo Onsen. Was that freaking yesterday? No, that was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
That was yesterday.
No,
you're right. That was 2 days.
Dogo Onsen, we were at our anniversary.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see. Eki stamps.
Yeah, the book is like a go something.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So a lot of train stations will have stamps, and then a lot of
some museums
or
trains,
like
some trains.
Will have them. Yeah. So just a bunch of different
shrines.
You
can pay money at the shrines to get fancy ones where people paint them.
Right. It's been really fun, actually. Like, we've been kind of just creating a scrapbook as we're going along. So we'll get stamps anywhere we can. And then I'm also just, like, saving, like, kind of ticket stubs or whatever. And instead of just bringing them all home with me and then being like, I'll get to this someday.
Yeah, because we have a folder from 5 years ago that just has a bunch of crap mushed into it.
We bought some glue sticks and have just been, like, assembling it as we go.
But so the interesting thing around this, there's like a little mini industry, because you go into a lot of these stationery stores, or even just like stores that have some stationery, and there'll be some of these books, and they're kind of accordion paper. They don't have a normal spine, and that's because some of the JR ones, JR, the Japan Rail, they're kind of like this stamp that you put it into, and you have to kind of unfold your book to be able to get it in there. And it's also kind of nice, too, because it just, like, lets you open it up and look at it. Fun.
And you can, like, I filled the front side of mine, so now I'm doing the back side, which is also kind of cool. So, anyway, we found lots of fun stamps in Shikoku, various different places. And we were trying to get it everywhere. All the stops on that special train.
And we missed the soup stop.
We did miss the soup stop, but we got a bunch of them.
Yeah, a couple others, yeah.
And we got one on Miyajima today.
Some of them are real cute. Some of them don't stamp very well.
Right.
Dogo Onsen area had them all over the place. They were really fun, but there were these like, it was text.
Yeah, they're not pictures.
And which are a little bit hard to read, but part of what the extra problem is these stamps are pretty old, so they're all like worn out on the edges. So I'm running into a problem with my stamp book that I've pasted enough, like glued enough stuff into it, that I'm not always getting a good press on the paper. So anything, I need to start opening it up a little different or something.
Yeah.
I was also going to say about the little mini industry around it is there's these adorable little, like tape dispensers that are like double-sided tape. They're like the size of a dental floss container, but kind of triangular, and just like whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, I've been using glue stick, just not as satisfying.
Yeah, no, they're more fun than glue stick. It just lays down a layer of adhesive. So I found some at Daiso, and then we found some at 7-Eleven. So easy to find.
we took this train, and it goes through the gorge. You see lots of waterfalls and other things. And you pointed out, for anybody who's been to Colorado, some of our listeners definitely have, it is kind of reminiscent of Glenwood Canyon. But if it were crossed with the rainforest.
Yeah, because it's very wet. We saw monkeys.
We
saw 3 monkeys. And they were running across the road while we were out for a walk. So yeah, definitely very different climate. It's super wet. Yeah. Everything's mossy.
But they do a good job of building it's only like a 2-lane highway or whatever. It's not quite a highway. It's like a county highway.
Yeah.
2-lane, pretty busy road with a bunch of trucks because it's the main north-south road. But they kind of tuck it in a little bit. So we took a little boat ride when we got to Aboke, and you can see there's a road there, but it doesn't feel like you got a highway above you.
Yeah,
it feels like they did a good job of tucking it into the scenery.
Yeah, so the gorge was beautiful.
Mine's pretty good, by the way. Sorry. I know. I totally interrupted you.
You did.
So the gorge is beautiful, and
we did get lucky because we were there for 2 nights. So, really one full day. And so that full day we spent, we did a cruise, which was on the river, which was very short. It was like half an hour.
Yeah.
But it was great. Like, it gave us some good pictures.
They have all these like carp kites strung across the gorge, which is pretty fun.
Yeah. So, we've got some pictures of those. And then, bless you.
Preemptive.
And then we also kind of went for a walk. Like
Oh man, it was a walk.
One of the things that Shikoku has tried to do, I mean, and I think a lot of places have tried to do, right? Lots of smaller towns have tried to come up with ways to promote tourism. And so Oboke, where we were, has a museum dedicated to yokai, which are like, they're the cryptids, right? The regional monsters of Japan.
Yeah, they're like I think they're a mix between cryptid and Aesop's fables.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
they
all of them
have
a lesson they're teaching kids, basically, is like, don't go into the water alone because you might get sucked under. But also some of them are trickster-y.
Yeah.
And actually I think the tanuki, which are the raccoon dogs, feed into that quite a bit, it seems.
Tanuki are a real thing.
Yeah, tanuki are a real thing.
Yokai are question mark.
Yeah, right. But it was fun because it was like we took a little walk through this little valley, the yokai village.
Yeah,
and there were just these like sculptures along the road. And that's where we saw the monkeys.
And then there was a museum with a bunch of colorful sculptures. But
the bus, this was part of it. So there is a bus that runs along this. It doesn't run super frequently.
Right.
And that was a little bit of a problem because we were like, oh, well, we'll just go down and do this thing. And it was like, actually, that's going to be a little more difficult. So we got the hotel had a shuttle that took us to the first stop, and that's where we did the boat ride. And then we walked from there to the yokai village and saw the monkeys and the museum. And then we're like, well, how are we going to get back?
And recorded the last podcast.
Yeah, right. And I had a hamburger. I've only had like 3 hamburgers in the last 10 years, probably.
Yeah.
Actually, probably like 5 hamburgers in the last 30 years.
A taco sort of situation.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't really a taco situation, but it was
like taco salad, rice salad.
Taco rice. It was really like chili, much more than tacos, but it was like chili served over rice with a circle of lettuce around it. Definitely wasn't like a taco salad because it was just like
you're right. It was mostly rice.
It was like it was good. It was spicy. It was game. It was either
everything there was game.
It was either boar or venison.
Or a combination of the two, it seemed like, on a lot, because I think my burger was a combination of the two.
Yeah.
But then we were kind of stuck, because we could either walk like 45 minutes through the canyon on this busy road, which had an okay sidewalk. Yeah. Or we could walk 15, 20 minutes back to town, and then hope to get the bus or a cab.
A cab is actually what we were thinking.
Caught the bus the last second. I actually delayed the bus. I was like, asking the bus driver questions so Rachel could get to the bus.
I'm relatively famous for
not running.
Not really being able to hurry. Matt makes fun of me because my facial expression changes, but my speed doesn't. And so yeah.
I may have thought about that a little bit today when we were trying to catch that ferry and we had like 4 minutes to get the tickets and you were just like...
I was
walking with a expression difference. Yeah.
I was very angrily walking. I was like, I need your passport. Anyway.
Yeah.
Not angrily. Frazzled. It was a frazzled walk. We made it fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was in like Oboke proper. We had a nice sochu overlooking the gorge.
Great meals. Oh, but we're 17 minutes in.
Yeah.
Do we want to wrap up Oboke and then we'll jump into Matsuyama, but let's talk about Ryokan. I totally interrupt you, but I want to keep us a little bit on track.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So the other thing that we did when we got our fancy train and then we got like a traditional Japanese inn, right? Ryokan.
They're funny.
Every ryokan we've stayed at, like, I would love to stay at a small one, and I've never managed to make it happen. Maybe next time. Like, my mom stayed at some small ones.
Yeah. Which also had their own challenges.
Yeah.
Because she had these, like, crazy stairs of death that she had to take after she had walked, like, multiple miles.
Yeah. Yeah, so she just, like, she was like, I just didn't take a shower that night because the bathroom was downstairs. Like, fair. So, I will say, like, we've been to 2 in the mountains. The first time we were here, we went to one in Echigo-Yazawa.
Yeah. Which is near Nagano, in that sort of area, so the Japanese Alps.
Yeah, and then this time we stayed at one in Oboke. And admittedly, like, I booked this because it was on the Delta Stays website, and if I paid for it in advance, I got $200 back. So, like, my choices were a little bit more limited based on that, right? The staff was super nice.
Staff was great.
The meals were amazing.
Fantastic. Yeah, because a lot of these inns, they're pricey.
Yeah.
Because you're getting access to baths.
Right. The baths were nice.
You generally don't go places normally. We went for a couple hours out, but like they're a destination.
Yeah, your experience is in being at the inn.
Yeah, you get a nice fancy breakfast with lots of options.
And you get a very fancy dinner.
Yeah.
So
if you have the option to get the dinner or don't get the dinner, get the dinner.
Yeah, definitely get the dinner. It will be a lot of what random fish is this, but, like, it's delicious.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the courses and everything last time.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. So anyway, but both Ichigo Yuzawa and Oboke, those hotels definitely felt like they were fancy in 1984.
Yeah, I would say, right? Yeah, like pre-bubble.
Yeah, like they were really fancy then.
And they've maybe not been updated since.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know our tatami mats had been changed in our room. They seemed very nice and new, but, like...
the walls were...
Our room in Oboke was very musty.
Very musty, and also we were a couple floors up above the kitchen, so it smelled like cabbage in the hallway. It would then make the bedroom smell a little bit like cabbage. It was it was not the best part, but the room was cute.
We had our own
private bath. Yeah, I think we were on the second floor.
Yeah.
So we were right above the kitchen, probably.
Well, we were fourth floor.
Oh, we were fourth floor, weren't we?
But reception was on the second floor
somehow. Yeah.
I don't know.
Because we're on a mountain.
On the third floor. Anyway.
Yeah.
But, like, it was just super dated.
I think the best example is there was a little rack for drying your onsen towel. So, like, when you go to onsen, you usually have a normal towel, like a normal bath towel for drying afterwards. But what you take into the baths with you is this little towel that's basically a long hand towel. Yeah, it's like 3 washcloths long.
Yeah, good description.
So it's narrow and long. And you take that in, and it's a little modesty towel. You don't put it in the water, but you kind of cover up yourself a little bit because you're naked in the baths.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the baths. We want to do a whole wrap-up onsen and Sento episode. But there's this little rack for drying your onsen towel, and it was up against the wall, and I feel like it was a plaster wall. And there was probably like at least an eighth of an inch, maybe a little bit deeper, where the rack had just rubbed against it. Because it wasn't affixed to the wall.
No.
It was affixed to the floor, but it was just between pushing against the wall and being moved around a little bit. There was like an eighth of an inch indentation.
Groove, yeah.
Yeah, it was so wild.
Yeah.
Which, there's just no way that wall's been refinished in 30 years.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so that was very much and it was like, our room is a traditional Japanese room too, so we had futons on the floor.
Yeah.
You've got some little chairs, you've got a table, not with like high chairs, right? Just like sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
It was all really nice. I just wish it was less stinky.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was like, again, the food was great. It was really nice. Would I go back to that inn? Maybe not. Would I not recommend that inn? No.
Right. Yeah.
Like, if you're going to get a good deal with your credit card, do it.
Yeah.
The baths were nice.
The baths were really nice. They had really great views.
Outdoor baths. That's the best part of the onsen.
Yeah. it was so dark at night. Like the first night we went up there to the baths, it was dark out and it was so black that I was like, is there a black curtain over these windows?
Yeah.
Like,
anybody who lives in the U.S. Mountain West knows this.
But there were no stars because it was like,
because it was cloudy or something.
Well, no, it was also just like the side of the gorge because it goes up so high. So it was like just a wall of trees, but no houses, no light, like nothing.
Yeah, it was fun. Aboke, I'm glad we went, for sure. So when we tried to leave Aboke, there was a giant rainstorm covering the entirety of Japan except for Hokkaido.
Yeah.
It was comical looking at the weather map.
Yeah.
I put a picture on our Instagram. Hey, here's a plug for our Instagram.
Yeah.
We're _podcast.
Excuse
me. Thank you for finishing that as I had a burp. The _podcast on Instagram and dash podcast on Facebook. If you search for Rainen and Matt and Rachel, you're
gonna find it. It was raining really hard, and that meant the trains weren't running.
Yeah. Should we take a break? We'll come back and tell that story.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're leaving Shikoku, and it's raining.
No, not Shikoku. Aboke.
Oh, we're leaving Aboke.
And it's raining hard.
We're in the middle of Shikoku.
Right.
Which we've already commented was...
very rural.
There's basically, very rural. There's a split north-south sort of highway and train route that goes through there. Not a lot else.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't talk about this, the tourists, though. That's going to be all tourists there, pretty much, except for the people who are running the shops.
Right.
But they're all going to be more local tourists. We ran into a guy on the way to the train station who was Osaka.
Osaka. And then there were 2 other people that we ended up sharing a cab with who were from Kobe.
Although he was from Indiana.
He was from Indiana, but they live in Kobe. She was Japanese.
Indiana. The, sorry, Music Man. But he did the thing that you get a lot when you're in more rural, off the beaten path Japan. Like, you're in Osaka, people are like, oh, where have you been? What are you doing? Where are you from? When you're in Shikoku or Aomori or parts of Hokkaido or Akita, the first question they ask is, why did you come here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still with the most emphasis ever was Aomori, but we got a fair amount of it in Matsuyama last night.
Yeah. But he was like, "What? I've never been here before.
Right.
Why did you come here?"
Yeah.
He spoke really good English.
He did. So we chatted with him a little bit because we were on the same shuttle, and then we got to the train station, bought our tickets, and then the train was canceled.
Yeah.
Could not get a refund on those tickets.
No.
So then we're like, well, shit, what are we going to do? So the train station master... Station master, basically organized people into taking cabs. Yeah,
but what I thought was awesome there, if you saw that, we were standing around, he's trying to explain that it's not happening. The guy from the bus... who's from Osaka, who spoke good English, from the shuttle, rather. He was translating that, your train has been canceled going north. The one going south is still working. He's like, they don't know when. They think maybe after 4 it might start working.
And we're there at 10 a.m.
And we're there at 10 a.m. And then the cab driver that took us to the hotel the first day poked her head in the door and says to the station master, something, something, something. And then they start talking. And then, everybody in the place except for us, because everybody else spoke Japanese. I don't think Indiana guy spoke Japanese.
Or at least not
well
fluently,
enough. Yeah. So, but his partner was Japanese and fluent. But they're all negotiating something. And then they've basically decided during that time that, the South train has also been canceled now. During this 5-minute period, and they've come up with a plan for us all to share cabs and go towards closer to train stations.
Right, train stations where the trains might be running. So we hopped in a cab with 2 people, from Kobe.
Awesome problem solving. It was so fun to see the community come together to help a bunch of people who are stranded.
Yeah.
Not because the cab driver's trying to milk anybody. The cab driver's actually trying to help save us money. Yeah,
because they were like, oh, you guys can share, so So we shared a cab to a slightly larger town. Got there, the trains were also not running from there.
No.
So,
However, there was a train running from there that was going in that sort of central east-west portion.
So not every train from there was canceled, but the train that we needed was not running. And in fact, like as we were sort of there trying to figure out what to do, like there were
more stuff was getting canceled.
Yeah, they were writing on a whiteboard, and at first it said sort of like, oh, this might run at, I can't remember if it was 2:00 or 4:00. And then like, as Matt was out sort of negotiating with a cab driver, the guy came up and erased that from the whiteboard. Yeah. So it was like, we really don't know.
Yeah, it was just getting worse by the moment. The drive in the cab was a little dicey. I was in the front. The cab driver, I don't think was super excited about driving in the rain, but she was doing it. She took her time. Yeah. Cars were passing us all the time.
Well, and there's these huge trucks too. And so and then there's huge puddles, so they're just like putting up these like walls of water that come over the car. Like, and you were on the 2-lane highway on the side of a mountain. So.
And I feel bad that she was like driving for a half hour away from home, basically, and was going to have to drive back through that. But someone else like asked her when she dropped us off, was asking, and she was like, okay, I don't know where they were going. But,
yeah, she definitely got another fare. Yeah, because I mean, everybody was trying to figure out something else because the trains were canceled.
Yeah. So I went outside and I was just like, we're looking at the maps and I was like, okay, the train that we were scheduled on was going to take us fairly far northeast to then take us sort of west-southwest. Mm-hmm. And we're like halfway on the way to the north. And the train that we need to go further north so we can go west-southwest is canceled.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, there's another 40-minute ride to this other station that's straight west that connects with the line we need, and that line is still running currently.
Yep.
So
we got in another cab.
Yeah, we called the guy, got the guy. The guy was very nice. I was trying to talk to him in my poor Japanese, and it was going fine. And I was like, hold on, we might have 4 of us. And I accidentally said like 4 months or something. It wasn't 4 months, but it was 4 things that were not people.
Yeah.
Like I might have said like 4 hours or something like that. And he was like, I speak English. And I was like, okay, 4 people. And he's like, okay.
Because I went and checked in with the
other people
Kobe
we shared
people to see if they wanted to share another cab to this other place where they decided not to, which is fine.
I think it was the right choice because the train line was blocked.
Yeah.
Between where we ended up and where they needed to get to.
Yeah.
So if they would have taken another cab the other direction, they might have been fine. I don't know what they did, but
no.
We jumped in another cab, and he was like, "It's probably going to be about 9,000 yen, which is like $70 or something."
Yeah, it was expensive.
Yeah, and I was like, "Fuck it, let's do it."
Yeah, I mean, it was stressful, and I wasn't feeling well, and so that like compounded a lot of stress. And then we got to the train station there, and then the train was maybe not running, and we couldn't quite figure it out.
No, it was. We got there initially, and I was like, is the train running? And she was like, it's 4,000 yen. And I was like, oh, it's running. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God. And she was like, I had a smile on her face. And then I started trying to ask her more stuff in my really bad Japanese, and she was just like, what car you bussin'?
Yeah, she was like, whatever, dude.
What kind of eye or whatever. Which is like, I don't understand what you're saying. Please stop talking to me. But then these 2 other people, this one guy that was a little bit bonkers, he had a bunch of toilet paper jammed in his ears, and he was so excited.
He was.
He spoke a little bit of English and was really excited to tell us things that didn't make a lot of sense.
But, I mean, we found out from him, like, so because I wasn't feeling well, like, I ended up crying in this train station, and
so I'm not laughing at you crying.
No,
but the people came together to help Rachel,
right? Because I was like, I'm like sitting there. I mean, and I'm not crying because of trains, right? I'm much more crying because like I'm not feeling good. But and then like the train was compounding that stress. But and then like once I started, I couldn't stop, and so but like these 2 people were just like. They just assumed that I was crying because of the trains, and so they were trying to solve all of our train problems.
It was so nice. They were so because they were like,
was so nice.
Yeah. So after the train was working, then we got an announcement that a tree fell on the tracks.
Yeah.
And it was going to be delayed until 2, and at this point it's 11. And then like 5 minutes after we've talked to these people for like 5 minutes, about like 2 minutes later, they're like, oh, it's working, it's running, it's coming in 10 minutes. Like, so we're like rushing, buying our tickets. There's nothing in that town. We were gonna lock our bags up and just go walk around the town or something, but there wasn't a coin locker, which is the first time I've seen a train station.
Yeah, that was also like the. I had some epic bathroom adventures that day too, because that was there was a day just solidly full of Japanese style toilets, which is fine. If anybody's ever gone camping and had to pee in the woods, like
it's a squat toilet, yeah.
It's the same as that, except for it's nicer because there's toilet paper and it flushes.
Yeah.
But
they're sort of like laying down urinals.
Yeah, they are. But like, it's not my favorite, right? And like that train station bathroom, usually train station bathrooms are pretty nice, even in Japan. That one was not great.
Yeah.
And then the train that we got on had Japanese style toilets.
Oh yeah, which is crazy. It was Anpanman, which is like the one of the cartoon characters here.
Oh my gosh.
I expected it would have been more modern, because the Hello Kitty one we were on was like super modern.
Yeah. Oh man, and it didn't have water in it, as you would expect, because like it would just be splashing everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was it was like riding, because there's a thing for you to grab onto. So like you're squatting over this, but it's got like a handle, so it was a little bit like being on like a
galloping horse.
A galloping horse, yes, while peeing.
Yeah, that's normally how I pee. The horses don't like it. But anyway, so it was an epic day. The craziest part about this was we ended up getting on this train, and it was the train we would have caught if everything had been working fine. And it was delayed by like 15 minutes because all the weather.
2 taxis, and I mean, lots of really, really helpful Japanese people.
Oh my God, so helpful people.
Like, it was, I was just so grateful to like everybody that day. Which is I think one of the things about traveling in Japan, right? Like, and maybe even traveling in more rural places, because like they're not sick of American tourists or Western tourists. Yeah. So they're just like, hey,
it did help that you were crying. But
still. I know. It seems like you're really upset. Like, let me fix this for you.
Yeah. So we roll into Matsuyama. We can't get our tickets refunded from the original thing. Not the end of the world. We're going to try to get them maybe recovered from like credit card or something like that. Although we paid cash, so we're probably screwed.
It's fine. I mean, we're out
$40 maybe or something.
We're at $40 on the train tickets. It was much more.
It was like $120 on cab fare, but we got to where we needed to be. We didn't waste a whole day.
Yeah, I mean, there are worse things than spending an extra $100 than you thought you had to spend.
Yeah, and we've got like an interesting story. Yeah. We roll into Matsuyama, and Matsuyama's pretty nice.
Matsuyama, we were there for 4 nights.
Yeah.
In part because the hotel we found was so incredibly cheap. It was $52 a night.
Comfort hotel. My favorite part too is we ended up taking a cab just because it was a long day. We could have taken a streetcar; it would have been dead simple. But we were just like, screw it. We got a suitcase. We've been running crazy for like 4 hours. Let's just just get a cab. It wasn't very expensive. It was like less than $10 or something. And I try to say comfort hotel. And he's like, and I showed him my phone. He's like, oh, okay. And then he's on the radio to his dispatch trying to say we're going to Comfort Hotel, and he says it like 4 or 5 times.
I know, it was funny. It was just like he was just repeating it over and over again. It was like, I don't know what's going on up there. He was a very, very much older gentleman too. Yeah. So we ended up staying there. We ended up in Matsuyama for 4 nights, in part because Matt needed to work.
It was going to be 2 days, but I went down to 1. And some deficit.
It was sort of like, hey, if you're going to be working, like, let's just have you work at this place where it's incredibly cheap for us to be. Like,
well, not only is it incredibly cheap, because it was like $40 or $45 a night or something like that, right? $52 a night. Mm-hmm. But it was paid for with credit card. That same thing that Rachel got the hotel.
Yeah,
Delta I paid for my Delta stays, so I got $200. So it was basically cost us like $14 or something.
Yeah. For 4 nights of hotel.
And it was a nice little hotel.
Yeah, it was. And
I really enjoyed Matsuyama. I know it was just yesterday we were there.
Yeah. No, it was today. We left there today.
Right, we left there today. I thorouly enjoyed it. There was a nice little area where you could walk around. There was like lots of bars, restaurants.
We went to 2 record bars. Very different. But
again, not a lot of foreign tourists. There were some other like Chinese and other Asian tourists at the castle for sure. Probably lots of Japanese tourists there too.
But I mean, like the castle experience that we had was totally different between like Osaka Castle and Matsuyama Castle. I mean, just
Osaka Castle maybe looks a little fancier from the outside because it just sits higher.
And it's taller.
But there were just so many people.
Yep.
It was like elbow to elbow at times. And this one, we were just taking our sweet ass time.
Yeah.
Walking up these crazy staircases.
You really had to be able to climb some serious stairs. And, you know, we got all the way up to the top and there was this 80-something-year-old woman, which I only know because someone was talking about it. And they said that she was over 80 and she was a little bit hunched over and she had a cane and she was taking these
when we say stairs,
incredibly steep stairs, they're like almost a ladder, but not quite a ladder, like steep ass stairs,
and it's all old like original wooden stairs in there. That's by far my favorite castle we've been to in Japan,
which we did tell.
It was beautiful.
We did tell the people yesterday at karaoke that it was that we liked that castle better than Osaka Castle.
She was really excited. She said, "I am so proud."
So we had a good time in Matsuyama. It was actually our real anniversary, our 20th anniversary. So
we got a fancy sushi meal,
and it was delicious. Everyone was super friendly. Like, the sushi chef was great.
Yeah, so definitely you get off the beaten path. There's significantly less English.
Yeah, for sure.
And even some of the folks probably speak more English than they let on. I wouldn't say let on.
Or they understand more English.
They understand more than they want to speak it. Like the sushi chef didn't need to... He was translating each dish to us on Google Translate.
His phone, and he would bring up like Wikipedia pages with pictures of the fish sometimes.
Yeah, and it was just like he just like sort of adopted us and made it a nice little experience where he had 6 other people that were all Japanese and all seemed like high rollers.
Yeah, they had all had plastic surgery.
Maybe they're all dentists. Sorry, with that boat ride we took, had a bunch of dentists. They had perfect teeth.
Yeah,
they were Westerners.
Really perfect teeth. One of the few like American groups that were in Karaoke actually,
or that we ran into anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, in the middle of the week, right? Like, but
it was just it was nice to walk around. It was flat. It was chill. It was organized well.
The castle's there. We went to Dogo Onsen, which Dogo Onsen is what Miyazaki's Spirited Away sort of like bath setting is, or
inspired by.
So we went there, had a nice bath.
Now most of it's closed right now because they're going through some significant renovations.
Yeah,
but it was in its own way one of the most beautiful baths I've been in.
It was really nice, and again, we'll kind of save that for...
I don't know how to explain it too, but
the castle was great, and it was so much less crowded. I mean, there was never a line for anything.
No.
Occasionally you would have to wait like 30 seconds for someone to come down one of these steep staircases so you could go up it.
Which the crazy part was all the staircases were marked to stay on the one side. They were wide enough that there's no way easily you could put your arms across both banisters. They weren't really banisters. They were sort of like poles that went up these ladders. So theoretically, you would have people coming up and down those at the same time, but nobody was doing that. It was just like, forget it. But one of the coolest parts about Matsuyama, though, is citrus. They're known for their Mikan, and they've got some like modern hybrids. They've got some traditional More the like tangerine.
We did multiple citrus juice tastings.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Jelly.
Citrus jelly was fucking delight. And like we were in such a rush this morning when we left that we didn't get a chance. I was like, there will be one at the ferry station, but there was just no time when we got to the ferry station to even look. So anyway, if you ever make it to Matsuyama, please just buy all of the citrus jellies.
Oh yeah, just drink all the citrus.
They come in like these little packets and you just like...
They're like
suck
fancy
them.
Capri Suns.
Yeah, they're like Capri Sun...
Oh, but there's like
Jello.
Yeah, but you go but with real
not
pulp.
chemical.
Yeah,
yeah,
with real pulp.
They're good.
And but you go and there's like each one is its own variety of. It's like this is this type of orange.
Yeah.
And some of them are sour, some of them are sweet, some of them are sharp, some of them are just super sweet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just the oranges in Matsuyama were fantastic.
Yeah.
And what else? Should we talk? We wrapped up our Matsuyama. With an epic night.
Crazy karaoke night.
Well, it started with...
Oh, right. So, Matt, like, the whole trip, not every day, like, oh my God, I got to do this. But, like, before we came, Matt was like, I want to do a Nomi Hodai. And Nomi Hodai is just basically, like, all you can drink, right? You pay a set fee and you get unlimited beverages.
Yeah, and so last time we were here 5 years ago, we had a couple of situations where we could have done Nomi Hodai and we would have been better off. Like we went to a sake bar and we just had a couple individual sakes and it would have been like about the same cost. It would have been cheaper. We would have had a couple extras we could have tried and it would have just been a little more relaxed. And so this was almost accidental Nomi Hodai because I wanted something and we get a reservation. It was a Friday night and it seemed like a lot of stuff. Reservations were booked up.
Right.
And I was like, this place has okay reviews. It was like yakitori, and it was a Nomi Hodai, and I was like, well, let's just do it. But it turned out we had our own little private room.
Yeah. So we had a room. It had like a screen, a roller shade that came down. Yeah. So, and then a little table so we could play games. I didn't feel guilty. Like,
yeah, you could probably get 6 people around.
We had that room for 2 hours, so it was like nobody else is waiting for this table. So we ate grilled things on sticks and drank really delicious drinks.
Oh my God, you're right. Because like a lot of times you see the Nomi Hodais are because we technically did a Nomi Hodai when we did private room karaoke with Nick last time.
Yeah.
But we were only there for an hour. We didn't quite know what we were doing. We got like 2 drinks.
Yeah.
Now the goal is not to get blasted, but you still want it to be like good value for money.
Right.
And so, but a lot of times it seems like the Nomi Hodai places they could have a tendency to just be like real inexpensive stuff, and they're just trying to get you liquored up and not spend too much money on it. But this was all fresh squeezed grapefruit and lemon juice.
Yeah, it was great. It was like
delicious.
So it was like chuhais that we were getting, which is sochu and soda, and in this case, like grapefruit. It was just kind of like muddled in there, essentially.
Muddled,
yeah. So,
but I mean, you could like chew it. The pulp that was in it, it was just so refreshing.
Really good. Like, so we had
a few of those,
fair amount of those drinks because they were delicious.
Yeah.
And then
they're technically a long drink, right?
Yeah, they are. And then we decided we were going to find a place, a karaoke place.
Well, first we were going to go to the Ferris wheel.
Right.
That's on top of the train station / multi department store.
Mall,
these malls. I guess they're sort of mall. Well, there's malls, traditional malls here. We haven't really been to those too much. But there's also these like shopping buildings, and you'll have a bunch of different named stores. You'll have a Muji, you'll have a Tokyo Hands, you'll have whatever the different things are. And you'll have a bunch of unnamed stuff that are just kind of random little booths. But they're all just in the same building. And so you might be on one floor and you pick up a shirt that you want and you walk to a cash register and they're like, oh no, you got to go over to the other side because it's a different store.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't feel like how we normally see it in the West.
Right.
Oh, well, at least in the U.S.
So there was a Ferris wheel on the top, but
it was closed.
It was closed at 9 when we got done with it was probably 9:45 by that point. Yeah. So we decided to look for karaoke.
Yeah, because it was another thing on my mental bucket list. It was on my list. I was like, I want to do karaoke in a group setting this time because we didn't last time.
So we did. We found a karaoke bar, or a bar that had karaoke. And it was the oldest and the drunkest crowd of old drunk people that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Because it probably held 12 people, and there were like 10 of us there.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, you could get more.
You could have gotten 14 maybe in there, but
yeah, it wasn't a real big place.
It was small. And like, there's no stage, right? You just have a microphone, and someone hands you a microphone at your spot at the counter or at your, table.
Little table. Yeah.
It's not. It's you're not performing in quite the same way.
No. And there's a TV on the wall behind the bar.
Yep. But we went in. Someone was singing terribly as we as we walked up, and some other people were leaving and getting in a cab who were obviously a little bit loaded, and Matt was like, "Are we doing this?" And
we got our seats, I guess.
We're doing it.
If we would have gone in 2 minutes earlier, we would have probably get turned away. Mm-hmm. So
we did it.
Yeah. But we walked in, it was everybody was
like
60 plus.
Yes. Definitely. And like, I mean, the woman running the bar was 70. Like,
Rachel accidentally told them that we're 35, and they were like, "What?" And I was like, "No. Y'all do." I fixed it, but I was a little bit drunk. My Japanese was. No, you were doing great.
But it was.
You are definitely better at talking in situations. I can like order food, but I'm not bad at listening to things. You have untapped vocabulary left over from your school that comes to you.
Yeah.
And mine
It'll
doesn't.
just like pop out. Yeah. And then like especially in those situations, like I'm okay like sort of pantomiming stuff and
yeah. I was doing my phone some.
Yeah. Yeah. But we talked to so the woman that was singing terribly when we got there, like immediately came and sat down with us.
Oh, was she okay, probably. Ooh, she was
loaded.
Having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, and I accidentally drank a sip of her drink because it was clear and it was sitting exactly next to a water pitcher, and I was like, oh, this must be my water. Again, I'd been drinking, and it was not water. It was just like a whole like pint glass of soju.
Yeah.
With ice.
And then we told them that our anniversary was the day before, just because we know the day before better than 2 days before. And she was like, "Oh, this is my husband," and brought him over and like squeezed the two of them between the two of us. So we were like at the bar where all the chairs were moving around. They bought us like a bottle of sake, and they brought like 2 glasses, and I could use enough Japanese to be like two more glasses, and they were like, "Oh, great!" So we were all like poured each other sake, and
it was a smoking bar. Everybody was smoking.
Oh yeah.
And we sang songs. I don't know. It was so much fun and so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we found this old person bar.
Oh, it was great. And they had, we took us a little bit of time. We figured out how to get some of the English songs.
Yeah.
We sang some Beatles.
We did.
And some John Denver. And they had fucking Peter, Bjorn, and John.
Well, they did. So we
like,
sang
they didn't have modern English, but they had Peter, Bjorn, and John.
Yep.
And, which I guess maybe makes some sense. But so this all ended with us not getting back to our hotel until after 1 o'clock in the morning, and we had to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
6:45, yeah. I mean, and that's probably why we had to hustle so much for the train, because we were moving a little slow this morning.
Yeah.
Or not the train, the ferry, but we made it. We made it all. But, like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, people in Shikoku were so nice.
Oh, absolutely.
Consistently.
Yeah.
Everyone was super nice. Like,
because we had that other one of the record bars you mentioned. The record bar we went into, and it was like, you go up some stairs. We saw there was a record logo, so we went up, and we walk in, and it's like 6 chairs at a bar, and there's like the bartender and one guy.
Yep.
And we're like, oh, and they're like, oh yeah, sit down. Well, then all Japanese.
I mean, and she definitely was. They both were like, we don't speak English.
Yeah,
and we were like,
right away.
Who cares?
Yeah,
right. Like, and they did actually speak
a little bit. We spoke a little bit of Japanese.
And we had a conversation, like, and that was also they were all very curious how we ended up in that bar.
Yeah.
And I was like,
there was a record.
Like your logo, basically. I mean,
Yeah.
I was like, we saw your sign. It looked like a fun place.
Yeah.
And I think she was super flattered about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because her friend came in later and she was like, they came in because they saw the sign, essentially,
Yeah. Yeah. So it was good. It was like, it's fun to interact with folks.
It is. Like, and I'm actually pretty bad about that when traveling. I'm best about it in Japan, actually, of anywhere. I was really, like, admired my stepfather because he could strike up a conversation with anyone.
Yeah.
And he would talk to everyone while traveling because he was a super extrovert. And I think that's such a skill. But...
in Japan, I think in Japan it's easier because we also went to the second record bar and that guy was just like, don't speak English, and
he wasn't interested in having a conversation with us.
But he was like friendly and
he was like, go pick out some records to play.
Yeah.
Which we did, and then like we picked out one sort of Japanese jazz album that was like fun and kind of funky, and then Matt went and found Velvet Underground, and then we asked him like, hey, what's a good follow-up to Velvet Underground? And he played some Curtis Mayfield.
Yeah.
And so
he was friendly, but he wasn't engaging in the same way. So it's not like, I don't feel like sometimes I feel like we put people out because they're like, feel like they have to engage, but I think especially in the smaller towns, people are just kind of excited to talk to some other random people.
Yeah, they're just like, how'd you find us? What's going? I mean,
and I think because we're trying,
yeah,
to speak a little bit of Japanese, and we're not just like, do you speak English?
Right.
You know, they're always like, do you speak Japanese? And we're like, Scotty.
Yeah, and that, I mean, and you know, we'll just launch ourselves in and sing some Beatles songs.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's
pretty fun. I would highly recommend Shikoku. I would highly recommend Matsuyama in particular. I would like to go back and spend a little bit more time in Okayama, maybe.
Yeah, well, Okayama isn't.
Yeah, no, it's not Shikoku, but it was on our gateway too.
I would certainly go. Like, I don't think I would necessarily be like, I gotta go back to Oboke, but I would find another like kind of more
Shikoku.
rural place in Shikoku to visit, maybe one on the ocean or like.
Well, yeah, because there's a whole southern side of Shikoku that we didn't touch on.
Yeah.
Also, we learned udon, delicious, freaking filling.
Yeah.
Good.
What did you say it was? Wet bread.
Oh, it is kind of like wet bread.
I mean, noodles are wet bread.
Noodles are just wet bread.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway, maybe we'll leave it with that.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all, noodles are just wet bread.
Go eat some wet bread. Thank you for listening to Rain It In, Matt and Rachel. You can check us out on Instagram at rainidin_podcast or Facebook at Rain It In Podcast. We encourage you to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app, or you can listen direct at anchor.fm/rainidin. Thanks again for listening. Have a great day.